Deputy Paul Murphy.
Thanks.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah. I just want to start by countering the disgusting attempt by some in the far right to divide and rule, to try to blame the housing crisis on refugees from Ukraine or elsewhere. I also do want to call on the Minister. He shook his head vigorously when it was mentioned a moment ago and said that he didn't say what he was reported as being said, but he should then clarify his comments, because what certainly seemed to be said on the radio was that an important cause of the increase in homelessness was that people were coming from EEA and non-EEA countries and were immediately going on the homeless list, as opposed to the very obvious reason for the explosion in homelessness, which is the ending of the eviction ban, which you could just trace the numbers of the end of the eviction ban, the numbers of homelessness rises back again. The real people responsible for the housing crisis are Irish landlords, their developers, and their US and European vulture funds and REITs. We need to be fighting for emergency action to provide decent housing for all. A month ago, I raised with the Taoiseach the case of over 20 families in Shannon Arms in Limerick facing eviction by a consortium of landlords, including Supermax millionaire Pat McDonough. We know now that these tenants include a family from Ukraine who have been living in Ireland for the last number of years, as well as a family from Syria. The far right want to sow division, want to have neighbour blaming neighbour. But the only person who benefits from this are the millionaire slumlords like Pat McDonough. What we actually need is to build solidarity among neighbours, among all working class people, to stand up to the landlords and refuse to be bullied out of their homes. Some people have already been kicked out and are homeless. Others are facing eviction in a matter of weeks. But the tenants are now organised and are resisting these evictions. Pat McDonough is masking his evictions as renovations and is doubling up the occupancy of apartments, reintroducing tenements to squeeze out more money from them. Scandalously, if he succeeds in making them homeless, some of them could end up being put up by the state in the local hotel that he owns. Last month, the Taoiseach appealed to the landlords not to evict the families, but they have not listened. I would now appeal to the Minister and to the Taoiseach to take action now, not just more empty words. Bring the Shannon Arms into public ownership so the tenants can be protected and it can be used to house others in need, and invest in this to improve conditions and strengthen the community there.